Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to be doing part 6 to the very popular story titled, Wife Manipulated Husband to Open Relationship and He Manipulated Her into the Ultimate Divorce. And guys, here we are again, like I said, with part 6. This is a story that keeps on going, the never-ending story here. Now, ordinarily, I would spend several minutes recapping the previous stories, the original story, what happened last, but because it's been so long, these different stories, I'm just going to jump right into the new story here. You guys obviously know what happened. You guys are eagerly awaiting more updates with this guy. And if you don't know what's going on, go back and watch the other ones. So he picks up in his story saying, Hello, SSM. Thank you for airing my story and my last update about my cheating wife, Ada, and my relationship with Kathy. This is another interim update. People were very concerned about the husband who sent Roger to the hospital. I have some news about him that the committee will want to hear. I also have news about Roger as well. I also want to bring people up to date about Ada, Kathy, and me. I've learned some new information about Ada's lovers. I've also learned some things about Kathy that I don't like. Well, there's a big surprise. I told you from day one, you need to get Kathy the hell out of your place. She may be a hottie and you had fun with her and all that, but no way, Jose. And by the way, guys, you can see this is obviously a long video here. I'm not breaking this up into two parts, so go to the bathroom, get your popcorn, and get your beer. It's a long one. He says here, it's Sunday, July 16th, so I've had some time over the weekend to write this up. I hope SSM feels it's worth sharing. Bro, it's one of the craziest, probably the craziest story I've ever done, so of course it's worth sharing. I also want to thank your community for providing incredibly helpful suggestions along with your and their support. You'll see that I followed their suggestions, SSM and some of your viewers offered. Your help has been invaluable. Please point out mistakes I'm still making. Thank you all. That's what we're here for, brother. First, I said I might send a picture to SSM of Kathy to SSM. SSM requested pictures of both Ada and Kathy. I thought about it, and I know SSM he wouldn't show the pictures. But for obvious reasons, I haven't told Ada or Kathy about these posts. I don't think it's very likely that either will ever find these videos, but I'm concerned about sending these pictures, or their pictures. It's one thing for Ada, or for some future lawyer she might hire to come across these posts and find out what my true plans were from the beginning. The worst is that I wouldn't get a divorce so beneficial to me. I don't want my liability if it is Ada or Kathy finding out I'm sending out their pictures. It's too risky. I don't want to ask my lawyer about it. She may shoot me. I'll try to describe them instead. Bro, don't worry about it. I don't want you to get in trouble or cause any problems for you down the road. Yes, I'd keep it quiet, but I can see how that could potentially cause issues. And at the end of the day, dude, you see one piece of ass, you've seen them all, so don't worry about it. But he's going to describe what they look like anyway, since I'm sure all you guys are wondering what the hell these broads look like. He says, my wife Ada is what they call black Irish. She has black hair down to the middle of her back, but she's very fair-skinned with freckles and has blue eyes. She's 5'5" and very well built. Great up top and an incredible bottom. I used to enjoy men looking at her and wondering what a beauty like her is doing with me. Yeah, we don't like men looking at her anymore. Or you can look back and say, oh, see things differently. Kathy is also a beauty, but the complete opposite in looks. She's blonde with hair down to her shoulders, which usually puts in a ponytail. She's a natural blonde. She's 5'9" and statuesque. Think of a classic Nordic blonde, but not an ice queen. Kathy has a huge warm smile that she's always flashing. Well, she's flashing other things at you. Kathy also has light skin but with large green eyes. She was a model in her teens and could still be one. Don't put her on a fucking pedestal, man. I know where that mind of yours is going. She's not as big up or down as Ada, but there's nothing wrong with her figure. Everyone stares at Kathy when she passes by. Well, at least you had two chicks that are hotties. I'll give you that. I think if I were to rob a bank with these two standing next to me, no one even noticed I was there. Well, not a bad idea. I haven't done justice to either one of them, but that's the best I can do. Anyway, here is the update of my story. The husband who visited Roger and put him in the hospital made bail. I found a number for him online. I wanted to thank him and tell him he was a hero for all the hundreds that Roger abused. Oh, husbands, not hundreds. Husbands. I called him, but his phone was disconnected. How'd you find him online? His lawyer was mentioned in the news, so I called his office and left a message that I was willing to be a witness against Roger in the husband's trial. I expected a legal assistant or clerk to call me to get my information, but the husband's lawyer himself called me back. A lot of guys sent me an article about something that happened to some dude in Florida about a similar situation. I wonder if this was the guy. I told the husband's lawyer I expected an assistant, not him, to call me back. He said there's a bunch of people who've called wanting to give evidence about Roger. He wants to talk to them all himself. The information he gets may lead to other information that may help his client. He doesn't want anything to fall through the cracks. Giving his client the best defense possible was too important. He thanked me for calling. I told him that the husband's experience with Roger was similar to mine. I'd be willing to testify about just how vile Roger is. I explained the circumstances surrounding Ada and Roger. The lawyers said, "Welcome to the club." Others had come forward, both wives and husbands, with similar stories willing to testify against Roger. Wives are coming forward to testify against Roger, like the same wives that were hooking up with him, and now they're blaming him instead of themselves. And at the end of the day, I think everybody could come forward and say what a lowlife he is and the things he's done, but I don't think it's still going to matter to a judge and a jury if this guy gave this guy a beat when Roger got the beat down like he did. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. The more the better. In the plea bargaining, the lawyer wanted to be able to tell the prosecutor that he had lots of people wanting to testify against Roger at trial. It's hard to get a conviction when the jury isn't sure who the real bad guy is and the DA knows it. I don't think the DA gives a shit. The DA just wants for his record that he threw another guy in jail. I asked what the husband is charged with, and he said everything from attempted offing down to possession of a deadly weapon, the bat. He said many of the charges are nonsense. They always inflate the charges to scare the defendant. They'll drop some of them. The husband will probably go to jail, but hopefully the lawyer can get it down to a minimum. Well, hopefully he doesn't have any priors. I asked if the husband need anything. Could I do anything for him? The lawyer said the husband owned a string of restaurants with his brother, and his parents had money, so he was able to post bond. Money was not the husband's problem. Offering to testify is a big help. If I knew anyone else, I asked him to come forward. I also asked what happened with the wife. He said the husband and wife were still living together. The husband found out about the affair because Roger wrote something on her body which she didn't notice, but her husband did. She confessed and agreed to end it, and she wanted to remain in the marriage, but she continued to see Roger. Doesn't surprise me. Why the hell is this guy still with his freaking cheating wife? I mean, you gotta be shitting me. The lawyer went on that the wife has been seeing Roger on girls' nights when she had to sleep at her girlfriend's because she was too drunk to drive. When he found out about Roger, the husband told her no more girls' nights, and the wife had to ditch the girlfriends that enabled her. What did I say about who your girl hangs out with? The wife complied. The husband thought she was done with the affair, but Roger had been fired from his job, so the wife started seeing Roger during the day. There was an open window in some of the photos Roger sent the husband of his wife in Roger's apartment. It was daytime in the photos, so the husband knew his wife was now seeing Roger during the day. The husband stayed home from work and followed his wife to Roger's house. I asked if they were divorcing, and the lawyer answered that the wife said that she was seeing Roger as much for the drugs as the sex. She said it made her feel like she was in college again. The lawyer said that here's a good-looking woman, 36 years old, with 2 children, married to a very wealthy man who absolutely adores her, and she screws this piece of crap and takes drugs to feel like she's back in college. That doesn't sound so surprising to me, given all the stories I've covered here. The lawyer said he doesn't understand it. People don't make sense to him anymore. I told him about Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0, and he explained what that, and I explained what that meant. He laughed and said, "Yeah, I guess that's where we are." You're damn right, that's where we are. Anyway, since the wife is willing to testify against Roger, they want to keep her happy. They want her sitting behind him in court every day to help influence the jury. Stand by your man, the husband who saved her from this evil predator and drug dealer. And the husband has more to worry about now than divorcing. If there is a trial, the lawyer doubted the prosecution wanted to take this to court. There might be a sympathetic husband or wife on the jury, but the lawyer doesn't want to risk a trial if he can get a very good plea deal for the husband. But it would have to be a very good deal. They were just starting the plea negotiations. Again, we shall see how this goes. I hope the husband doesn't have any priors and is considered to be a good, upstanding citizen. But regardless, he still gave this Roger character a massive beatdown with a bat, and nobody can blame him. That guy got what he deserved, but you guys get the point. I asked what he knew about Roger's condition. He said Roger was charged with possession and distribution, and may also be charged with pimping. He not only had the the E in his apartment, but also a lot of crack and some powdered cocaine. Good freaking Lord. Roger evidently had a side gig. Part of what kept some of these women seeing Roger were the drugs he provided. And Roger was pimping out some of these wives to guys who came to get the drugs. Holy shit. This just gets crazier and crazier. The lawyer said that the husband and Roger would probably end up in the same prison. I don't know if that's possible. Even if that didn't happen, Roger will have serious problems in prison with his fellow convicts. Right now, Roger was in the prison infirmary being hauled back and forth from the hospital for his surgeries. Roger's arm should be okay, but he'll always walk with a limp because of his shattered knee. His face was fixable. The most serious injury was Roger's groin. They were crushed by the bat. The prognosis there wasn't good. The bat also did some damage to Roger's schlong. The lawyer said that he had heard somewhere that men can still do their business, even if they don't have functioning balls. Just nothing comes out. He chuckled and said that Roger will be able to tell if that is true. That is, if his schlong still worked. Again, a lot of guys have wondered if this story is true or not, and if this story isn't true, then good Lord, this guy's a master storyteller. But truth is stranger than fiction. But this Roger character got everything he deserved, in my opinion. He says, I told the lawyer that I was glad Roger finally got what he deserved. His client did the community a service. The lawyer said that his client wasn't the first angry husband to visit Roger. The lawyer's file on Roger has police reports of attacks on Roger. I heard him shuffling papers while he continued. Nothing too serious. Broken nose, split lip, eye swollen shut, another black eye, bruised cheek, bruised jaw, broken tooth, a dislocated shoulder, a cracked rib. That husband did a job on him. You know, in martial arts, I did Krav Maga for 6 years and Muay Thai kickboxing. We spent a lot of time on disarming somebody if they come after you with a bat or a stick and stuff like that, over and over and over and over again. And just makes you think of that now. The lawyer said that the split lip report was just 5 days before his client caught up with Roger. Too bad that the guy didn't put Roger in the hospital. Maybe the lawyer's client wouldn't be in the mess that he's in. The lawyer went on that these attacks only include the ones Roger reported to the police. Who knows how many other angry husbands he didn't report. We're contacting each of the men Roger reported. Hopefully they'll all want to testify against Roger too. Oh, I'm sure they will. They weren't feeling embarrassed. The lawyer's client isn't the first guy to try to correct Roger's errant ways. His client just took it to a whole new level. The lawyer continued that you'd think Roger would have learned his lesson and stopped baiting the husbands. I said that I thought Roger needs to think of himself as an alpha male, and since he isn't, he tries to convince himself that he is by trying to diminish other men. Without that, he's nothing. The a-hole can't help himself. He was dumb, a vile psychopath. Yeah, the guy is a total narcissist, total psychopath, sociopath, what do you want to call him? He's one of the paths. I told the lawyer to give the husband my best and thank him and tell him that he was there for all of us. I told him to tell the husband if the husband needed anything to let me know. The lawyer thanked me for coming forward. I told the lawyer to keep me informed about testifying, and we got off the phone. I didn't think that the lawyer would be so forthcoming about all this. I guess he wanted me to feel part of the defense team so I wouldn't change my mind about testifying. He didn't tell me anything that was privileged, nothing that they wouldn't have revealed if it went to trial. I asked Kathy that evening if Roger ever came to work looking like he'd been in a fight. Kathy answered that every once in a while, Roger would come in with a black eye or bruise or busted lip or swollen jaw. One time with the arm in a sling. Kathy said he always had a story. What were the stories? Now things are starting to make sense here. Apparently Kathy said that a few weeks before Roger was fired, he came to work with a black eye and a knot on his forehead. He claimed a husband came looking for his wife at Roger's apartment. Roger had called the husband and told him he was keeping his wife for a few days so she could learn how to give a perfect BJ. This guy is such a fucking lowlife. Roger told her husband she was talented and very enthusiastic, and with little instruction and lots of practice on Roger and some of his friends, she could be world class. Roger followed up by a call by texting the pics of the guy's wife practicing. The husband found Roger's place somehow and cold-cocked Roger, and when Roger entered the door, Roger claimed that he proceeded to kick the husband's ass. When Kathy first started working with Ada, Roger came to work with the side of his face swollen. This time he said some guy dissed him in a bar. The guy was with his girlfriend, but the girlfriend, Roger claimed, kept smiling at Roger. When the guy went to the bathroom, Roger went up to the girlfriend and they started talking. They were just getting to know each other when the other boyfriend returned. The guy told Roger to beat it, and that was his girlfriend. Roger told the guy that his girlfriend was coming home with him, Roger. The guy pushed Roger, and Roger hit the guy, knocking him to the ground. Roger was punching him in the face when the guy's friend hit Roger to stop him from offing the boyfriend. Roger said the girl did come home with him, and they left with the boyfriend on the ground crying. If this is all true, what he told her, which I doubt. Kathy just started working there and really didn't know anything about Roger. She remembers the story because she looked at Roger's hands, and when he said he punched the guy and had to be stopped from continuing to punch him, there were no bruises or cuts in his hands. There you go. Anybody's ever been in a fight before knows darn well your knuckles are going to be really torn to shit after punching and all that. I mean, come on here. His knuckles weren't red or swollen. Roger had not hit anyone with those hands. Kathy said that taught her everything she needed to know about Roger. Everyone knew Roger was lying. She thought Roger was an idiot to think that his stories made him look like a big man instead of a fool. Roger lying, shocking. Exactly. So now back to his women. He says here, my last update was 20 days after Ada came back to my place after spending the night with Roger. Ada has spent months working her scheme to get me into an open marriage. Her very intricate plot included getting Kathy to live with us, getting me and Kathy stoned, getting us to sleep together, and then claiming that since I've been unfaithful, she had the right to hook up with other men, starting with Roger, whom she invited over to my place so she could have sex with him in front of me. Her plan didn't work. Instead, it led to my friends with benefits relationship with Kathy and the end of my marriage to Ada. The divorce will be final this December or January, if things go according to plan. He says, I agreed to let Ada stay in my condo for 45 days to try to convince me to reconcile. If she signed a divorce agreement, that would benefit me in every way. No alimony. I keep my brokerage, retirement, and checking accounts. I keep my car, but Ada has to sell hers and give me half the proceeds. I keep my condo and everything in it. I keep Charlie the dog. Also, Ada had to confess her infidelity to her parents and quit her job immediately, giving no notice. Yeah, we all remember your terms and conditions, and it was amazing. And she was just going along with it because she agreed to do anything to keep you. Although, hang on, she wasn't so easy about certain things, but yeah. And as a cherry on top, I'm so glad you're keeping the dog. As an animal lover myself. He says, Kathy still sleeps in my bed. Ada sleeps in the spare bedroom. How this situation is continuing, I will never get. I mean, you're using like the fucking Jedi mind trick on those two girls. I don't know. Much of this was to punish Ada. Her parents are furious with her. Her mother threatened to quote, slap the shit out of her, and I will never see her the same way. Quitting her job without notice is not going to inspire future employers to hire her, and she hates that I'm sleeping with Kathy. I want her to pay for her betrayal. She deserves to pay. Roger paid. Now it's time for her to pay. The 45 days I gave Ada are up a week from this Tuesday. Okay, so today is Monday. So next Tuesday, you all can think of this dude next Tuesday, and I want to hear in part 7 what happens when you send her ass packing. That's going to be entertaining. I would make sure your video cameras are recording that day. I will get to what's been happening among the three of us since my last update at the beginning of July. But first, I want to spend a little time on the prospects of the divorce, going through as I want, and my plan to make sure that it all happens. I'll keep it short. My brother, there's nothing about your stories of keeping it short, but that's okay, because we like a good story. In the last post, I said I talked to my attorney, Sharon, and she told me not to worry about the divorce settlement going through. But since I do worry, I decided to talk to a guy at my work who's been divorced 3 times. A buddy at work who's been divorced 3 times, we'll give him a good smack from SSM for getting married 3 fucking times and make sure he doesn't do it a 4th time. The guy is in his mid-50s. Everyone at work knows he got divorced because each of the 3 wives caught him cheating. Well, he's a fucking scumbag. He's in my state, so I thought I'd ask him. I talked to him about the process in my state. He told me he had children from his first marriage, but they were adults by the time he and his first wife divorced. The other 2 marriages didn't last very long. All 3 divorces went smoothly, at least after the negotiations with his greedy wives when completed. Well, he's the one that fucked up the marriage, is he not? He said, you never want a judge to decide your life. You always to file a signed agreement with the court. If you can't, then the judge decides, and that's always bad for the husband. He's never had any contact with a judge, and that's the way he likes it. With the divorce agreement, they provided marriage certificates, proof of residency, and a verification that he and his wife hadn't had the SEX in 6 months. That's it. No minor children, no one was contesting the divorce, so there's nothing for the judge to weigh on. Nothing for the judge to decide. The 3 of his divorces all went basically the same way. Just make sure the agreement wasn't disputed. Yeah, I remember from your other thing saying for 6 months, no relations with your wife. Ada and I have no children, so the key here is to make sure that Ada doesn't contest her divorce settlement so it goes through without a hitch. We would fight her if she contests the settlement, and we'd probably win. But who knows? A judge can do anything the judge wants. Also, if she contests our settlement, it will also delay the divorce significantly. This divorce settlement is really good for me, and I don't want a judge pulling it apart. Yeah, well, it isn't over until it's over. The deal ain't closed until it's closed. You don't celebrate until the deal is closed. And you never know one of these judges. It could be some nice guy, blue-pilled, la-la land fucking liberal judges that's going to stick it to you. Be careful. Fingers crossed, bro. So the best thing is to keep her wanting to reconcile and thinking I still might be willing to take her back until the divorce is finalized. If she thinks there's a good chance we might get back together to divorce, she won't fight it. She knows if she contests the divorce, there's no chance I'll take her back. Pretty much everything I've done these last 3 weeks or so, everything I write about here, is to try to make her believe there is that chance of getting back together, but only after the divorce is final. Although Sharon, my attorney, talked about Kathy as a witness, it didn't sink in that I need someone to verify that Ada and I didn't sleep together for 6 months prior to the divorce decree. If we did have the SEX, the judge would consider it an attempt to reconcile. A letter from a third party saying we weren't intimate need to be part of the divorce packet submitted by the judge. Kathy was the most likely candidate. I need to talk to Kathy about writing something for the judge. I'll need to keep Kathy happy. And I can't wait to know what the judge says about Kathy. Like, who's this Kathy character? What is your relationship with her? Oh, well, she's sleeping in my bed right now while my wife is in the guest bedroom. Oh, okay, no problem. Ada has consistently tried to talk to me about reconciliation. Yeah, because she knows the clock is ticking. After a few weeks, just not listening to her and saying and doing everything I can to punish her, she finally waited until Kathy wasn't home and told me that I haven't been honest with her. Oh, is this the master of lies is telling you haven't been honest with her? Well, I said the emperor's daughter here. I mean, nasty and hurtful to her all the time. She told me that she thought I'd be fair and was sincere about giving her a chance to convince me to take her back. She signed the divorce agreement and did other things I asked, but I haven't held up my end of the bargain. Beggars can't be choosy, wifey Ada. I told her part of what she promised was that she would be honest with me. I don't think she has been honest. I don't think Roger was her only affair. If I took her back, she wouldn't be as stupid in her cheating, but would continue to cheat. I also told her that I was still furious with her, and that's something she'll have to live with. I said she knew when she signed the agreement that the divorce was the most probable outcome, regardless of what she did. You did make that clear, and I guarantee you did not get the full picture on her affairs. Guaranteed. But I told her that I'd still listen now what she has to say. Bear in mind, she has been cooking up this story for a while, what she's going to say, and put on the full theatrics and waterworks and I'm so sorry's and that shit. But we'll listen anyway. I did not confront her about what I learned from the hidden camera. Ada confessing a 2-month affair with her boss, Andy. I don't want her to know about the camera. I'll hold on to that in case I needed it later. So I told her to take her shot. I will hear her out. She said there was no way we could work things out with Kathy still here. I should ask Kathy to leave. She looked at me for a reply, and I told her go ahead. I'd respond when she's finished. She said she wanted to explain about Roger. What is she possibly going to explain about Roger? The new workplace where she worked and where Kathy still works is full of young, vibrant, single young people. They made her feel old, and she wanted to feel young again and part of things. Tough fucking shit. You agreed to get married. Nobody forced you to marry this guy. And if everybody's young and single and vibrant and everything, guess what? You're now married. Grow the fuck up. And do you think they're all happy in their young, vibrant lives? Come on here. Roger gave her a lot of attention. Ding, ding, ding. Attention validation, guys, once again. And was also complimenting her. Always there flirting, telling her how sexy and beautiful she was. Trust me, she knew she was good looking. He made her feel appreciated and young again. There was also the excitement of a new romance, and Roger always made her feel desirable. And this is when you say, I don't give a flying fuck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't excuse anything that you did. So again, we're not going to have this discussion, honey. You're just proving why I am divorcing you. She says she's been reading up on infidelity and learned that the cheating spouses gets into what's called a fog. They don't realize what they're doing, or what the consequence of their cheating will be. Sounds like she's trying not to be accountable for her actions. Call me crazy, but that's what this sounds like. They just live for the moment, the excitement. She was in that fog with Roger. Oh, well, it's the fog's fault. It's not her fault. She didn't know what she was doing. Oh my God. She knew exactly what she was doing. It took my reaction to finding out to take her out of that fog. She realized she was ruining her life for an affair with someone she couldn't care less about while betraying a husband she loves more than her life. All this information she looked up and got online about the fog and all that crap was just by some other cheater trying to justify their actions, and get away with it. She was now out of the fog. She was ready to start our marriage again. Was I willing to at least try to be the husband and wife again? Fat chats, honey. I sat and listened to this nonsense. Wanting to feel young again didn't explain her affair with Andy, her boss, who was older than us and was married with children. Was she in a fog with Andy too? Was she in a fog while spending months plotting to open up our marriage? Is she ever out of the fog? I didn't say any of this. Now is not the time to let her know I know about Andy. Never a dull moment in this story, huh, guys? He goes on. He says here, instead, I said she wasn't so foggy and she didn't take months scheming to get me in a bed with Kathy to an open marriage. She planned it down to the last detail, even bringing condoms home with her. She seemed to be thinking fairly clearly during the entire time. Again, she wasn't in this BS fog that she's trying to blame. I went on that she's been screwing Roger 2 or 3 times a week for months. Why did she need an open marriage? Was she planning to spend even more time with Roger? Bullshit. She wanted an open marriage so she could F other guys too. What she just told me didn't make any sense. She said her plan was stupid. Look how it turned out. She could have been thinking clearly to come up with that crazy, harmful, or hurtful, idiotic plan she tried. See, she's saying, I was crazy because otherwise I wasn't thinking straight. Otherwise, I would have planned things right if I was thinking straight. As for trying the open marriage, she was tired of sneaking around. She felt guilty about the affair, and an open marriage would provide permission for her to carry on with Roger. Yeah, you can tell through her actions she was feeling really guilty. Stupid and crazy. I was head and shoulders above Roger in every way. She always knew that, but did what she did because of the fog. I said she didn't feel guilty enough not to begin or end it with Roger, did she? She didn't respond. Instead, she asked me what I thought was going to happen with Kathy. Did I think a long-term relationship with her was really going to happen? Ada said Kathy left her ex, the guy that she followed to here from Los Angeles, partly because he wanted to get married and Kathy did not. So, your wife Ada's trying to help you give her a second chance here. And not that you were going to, but the fact that, again, she's blaming this on anything else but herself only solidifies why you're going to kick her to the curb. Again, women and accountability. They were continuously fighting about that. Kathy finally decided to leave him. I told her she and her ex hit Kathy, and Kathy had no place to stay. She said it was a small lie to get me to feel bad for Kathy and let her stay with us. She smirked and said it turned out okay for me though, didn't it? And I smiled. Remember in the first story, she got that Kathy chick to move in with him because she said that he was abusing her, which was bullshit, of course. She told me that Kathy was focused on her career and wasn't interested in getting serious with anyone. A career girl, huh? Well, you know how that works out for them when they're in their 40s and alone and miserable. She asked me what I saw when I looked at her. A bimbo, a Barbie doll. Ada said that Kathy was smart as hell and always knew what she was doing. She always got what she wanted. I think that's probably the only thing that Ada has said that's been truthful in this entire saga here. That's why I said, do not trust Kathy. Not one fucking bit. Ada continued that all 3 of us have the same job. Ada said she and I were good and successful at our jobs, but Kathy is on her way to being a superstar. She's very smart, and because of her looks and personality, the clients love her. Men and women, young and old, on the phone, in person, in their dreams, client want to make Kathy happy. And to make her happy, they throw their money at her. They're right to trust her with their money. She knows what she's been doing and will make them money. Kathy's only been doing this for a few months and she's still learning, but she'll get very rich doing what she's doing. So Ada continued that she's concentrating on her career, not me. She's not giving up her freedom for me. She wouldn't for her ex, and they've been together for years, so what did I expect from Kathy? Making you have doubt. There you go. But I've been saying all along, you should doubt Kathy. I told Ada, I hadn't heard from Kathy or Ada before that Kathy's ex wanted to get married, and Kathy left because she didn't want marriage. I told Ada Kathy and I were just friends. I didn't expect anything from Kathy, short-term or long-term. If she wants to leave, I'd miss her, but I would also wouldn't try to get her to stay. Other than being friends, there's no emotional attachment whatsoever. Ada replied that if it's true, why didn't I ask her to leave so Ada and I could work on our marriage? Well, you didn't ask her to leave because you want to punish Ada here. This was a waste of time, but I told her I'd think about what she said. I told her I still didn't think she was being completely honest with me, and I was still so angry that I didn't want to get past her betrayal, at least not in the short run. I told her I would get back to her about Kathy. Whenever she asked when I'm going to ask Kathy to leave, I tell her I'm still thinking about it. So basically, he gave her an answer kind of the way a woman would give a guy an answer. I had to stay late at work about a week and a half ago for a client call. I didn't get home until about 9 p.m. Ada and Kathy were home together. When I saw the video from my camera, it occurred to me that I should leave them at home alone together more often. I'd learned so much. What follows about their talks come right from the video. Kathy and Ada were sitting on the couch drinking wine. How they're still doing this, again, is besides me, but okay. Ada and I don't drink much, and Ada isn't good at hiding her liquor. She prefers weed to alcohol, but since drugs are no longer allowed in my house, they were drinking wine. When she drinks, Ada becomes very talkative, revealing things she'd never say sober. Kathy must have known this about Ada. They've been out drinking together after work often enough. Ada was finishing her second glass of wine when I got to the part of their conversation in this video. She was a little drunk. Kathy had only taken a sip or two from her first glass. Ada asked Kathy how her and Ada's clients are doing. Kathy replied they were both their clients and now Kathy's clients. Ada held up her wine glass in acknowledgement. They spent a few minutes talking about specific clients. Ada then said that she was surprised that Ada didn't seem to know that Ada and Kathy were handling all their Ada and Kathy's clients together. Ada didn't need help with the transition. Kathy knew the clients as well as Ada. What did Andy think Kathy's been doing all these months? Sharpening pencils? Maybe Andy wasn't on top of what his employees were doing as they thought. Kathy said that she went to see Andy the morning after Ada quit and explained that she and Ada worked as a team, handling all their accounts together. Kathy wanted to continue with them alone now that Ada has quit. Andy said he knew they'd be working together, but wasn't sure Kathy was ready to take them on by herself. He'd think about it and get back to her. He did, and Kathy's managing the accounts. Ada said Andy called her and asked if Kathy was up to handling the accounts. Ada said that she told Andy that there was no one better. Ada told Andy that she hadn't left him the lurch, and Ada wanted to make sure that he knew that. Ada had thought that Andy knew Kathy could step right in. Andy responded that he hadn't been sure about Kathy, but with Ada's blessing, she'd get the accounts. Ada told Andy that Ada's absence from work was temporary, and she'd be back once they settled down. Kathy thanked Ada for what she had said about her to Andy. Kathy then continues, speaking of Andy, there are rumors about him and Loretta. Ada asked if Loretta was the new employee, the one with red hair. She's very young, and Kathy said, yeah, that's her. They always seem to leave the bar together before anyone else leaves. So the rumors have started. Ada said that Andy still hasn't learned anything from their time together. So the boss that this guy's wife Ada was hooking up with is now on to the new hire, a younger, prettier girl. Imagine that. Remember, this is the young, vibrant company of single people that she was so envious of. Kathy said she knew Ada's claim that Ada and Andy mutually agreed to end the relationship was BS. What's the real story? Ada said that Andy became concerned his wife was getting suspicious, so he didn't go drinking after work as much. Their hookups became rarer. Andy was no longer doing it for Ada, so the affair just started to peter out. Ada then started to say that she was also just getting started with, but caught herself looking at Kathy and said it just sort of ended. Somebody else from work. Ada continued that she decided to stay away from married men. Too much drama about their wives. She also recommended that Kathy stay away from married men as well. Kathy replied that it's too late for that. Ada said, "That's right. You're involved with a married man right now. What's his name? Jerry, right? Wait, that's my husband." Ada asked Kathy why she continued to live with them and stay involved with me. Oh, please tell me there's a giant cat fight going on in this story momentarily. Kathy said she was fond of me, I was attractive, funny to be with, etc. And I was very good in bed. They're actually having this conversation. Again, this is what I'm talking about here. And I'm attentive without wanting anything from her. After her ex, that's a real plus. She's focusing on her career and I didn't distract from that. She doesn't see a long-term relationship with me, but for now, it works for her. Kathy said she also was pretty sure Ada and I would end up divorcing, regardless of whether or not Kathy stayed. Ada finished her wine and Kathy quickly refilled her glass. Kathy asked Ada what she meant by saying that she was just getting started with somebody else. Ada said she didn't mean anything, she misspoke. Her thing with Andy just petered out. Kathy told Ada to come clean. Kathy tells Ada about her ex. Ada can tell Kathy about this person she was starting up with after Andy. So was she starting up with this guy prior to this whole thing coming out, or is she starting up with another guy right now? Ada said, "How is your ex?" "He's still showing up at the bar after work." Kathy said, "Don't change the subject. Tell me about the new guy." Ada thought about it for a while, but finally said they were both younger than Kathy is now. He was long gone, so Kathy had never met him. His name was Jonah, and he was hired about the same time Andy and her were ending. Her relationship with Jonah was really what ended things with Andy for good. Good Lord. Ada continued, "Jonah was my beautiful boy, the one who got away." What about your good husband here? Ada closed her eyes, sighed, and smiled. I guess remembering Jonah. She opened her eyes, smiled even more broadly, and put her hands up. Palms parallel and facing each other, indicating sighs. Think of Godfather, Part 1 at the sister's wedding, when Sonny's wife held her hands to show her friends the length of Sonny's you-know-what. Ada laughed and said to Kathy, "You have no idea." Yeah, all the Godfather people are picturing that scene. And as Sonny was going off to nail the bridesmaid. Kathy asked, how did it end with you and Andy? Ada replied, Andy and Jonah didn't know about each other. I hooked up with both of them, one after the other, one night in the same hotel room. I couldn't keep doing that. I got home too late. So she's banging multiple guys in the same night, then going home to the guy telling this story here. She is fucking garbage. And someone told Jonah about Andy and me. I denied, of course, but I had to choose between them. I chose Jonah. I told Andy some BS about my husband becoming suspicious, and we had to stop for a while. We never started back up again. By the time Andy realized I was sleeping with Jonah, he was already with someone else. Kathy asked what happened to Jonah. Ada said it lasted almost 2 years until Jonah left to take over his father's business in Nevada. Too bad if he had stayed, she wouldn't have given anyone else a second look. She was hooking up with this guy for 2 years behind her husband's back. This is why I say once a cheater, always a cheater here. This is nice, this guy's video cameras. Kathy asked, who else would she have given a second look to? Ada said Jonah ended in 2016 and Roger started in 2022. Ada smiled and said, that's a lot of years to go without someone there. It might have been some others. Ada winked. Kathy all asked for names. Did Kathy know of any of them? So, remember when in the beginning of the story when I told the guy that he now knows this, he rushed in to marry too soon, didn't know her long enough, too young, all that. The whole fucking time she's cheating on him. Ada said if they don't eat, she'll fall asleep. No more about past history. Ada looked at Kathy with a serious expression and said she was done with all that now. Kathy started laughing when Ada said that she was done with all that, laughing at Ada saying something so obviously untrue. And then Ada started to laugh as well. They started talking about dinner and walking Charlie's and nothing further of interest. Ada had been getting drunker and drunker with Kathy's help, but Kathy really didn't touch her wine. Very unlike Kathy, she liked her wine. I wonder if Kathy knew everything being recorded. Sounds like Kathy was deliberately trying to get her drunk so she'd get information out of her. Kathy didn't tell me anything about meeting her ex at the bar or about Ada's affair with this guy Jonah. She promised she would do both. I think that is a betrayal. What do you think? Yes, it is. Kathy is in this for herself. She's not in it for you or anybody else. She's in this for herself. And I might add, this Kathy character is living at your house for free. Sounds like not paying anything towards rent, utilities, expenses, anything like that. She is in it for herself, and I wouldn't trust any of her that can fucking throw her. I don't care if she's a hot blonde. I'm planning to sit Ada down this Thursday to tell her she's leaving following on Tuesday, July 25th, the 45th day. That will give her 5 days to find some place to live. I'm dreading the drama, but Ada has to go. Freaking men, and so does Kathy has to go, okay? Get rid of her. I don't trust this broad at all. So anyway, guys, that's his update here on that Roger character and all the things going behind the scenes with him, and that husband that whipped his ass with the bat, and these two broads. But again, just Psalm Gomorrah 2.0. That's the only way I can describe this. Nothing ceases to amaze me. It's just unbelievable. But anyhow, guys, that is his update here. We will hear from him again after he kicks her out. I know you're all eager to hear about that drama, but it's not like she can be that surprised about the whole thing. But after that, get rid of Kathy. You can't trust her. End of fucking story. She's an opportunist all along. And there are elements of the story that, believe me, are questionable. As I know, questionable to you guys. But I'm giving this guy the benefit of the doubt here because there's a lot of weird shit out there, and you all have learned this at this point in your lives. But anyhow, good story. Keep it coming, and I do wish this guy the best. Stay strong, brother, and we'll hear from you soon. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below and what you think about this, and be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.